Before I begin, I want to ask you to subscribe to my channel and share your thoughts in the comments. I promise this story is one you'll feel deep in your chest. It started with a text I never expected. My phone buzzed late one night. "You can't be jealous. I want you both." I froze. My hands shook. I read it twice, thinking I must be misinterpreting it, that maybe my eyes were playing tricks. But the words burned into me. I couldn't understand. I still can't. My wife, Mara, and I had been together for 6 years. We shared a home, dreams, even the small rituals that make life feel safe. But that text, coming out of nowhere, shattered everything I thought I knew. First, I questioned myself. Maybe I was overthinking. I convinced myself she meant something innocent, a poorly worded joke. But then came the subtle signs I'd ignored. Missed calls she claimed were wrong numbers. A faint scent of perfume, floral and unfamiliar, clinging to her coat. Quick glances at her phone when she thought I wasn't looking. And her sudden obsession with staying late at work, always meetings I couldn't join. I wanted to believe her. I loved her. But doubt crept in like smoke under the door, filling every corner of my mind. Every memory started to twist. The way she laughed a little too loudly at texts I couldn't see. The way she'd lean in close, but her mind seemed elsewhere. I asked myself, am I imagining this? Am I losing my grip? Then I saw it. I was making dinner when her phone lit up on the counter. It's a bad habit of mine. I can't resist when curiosity hits. And there it was. A message chain between her and someone named Alex. The texts weren't subtle. Plans for secret meetups, flirty jokes, and eventually pictures. Pictures that made my chest tighten and my stomach turn. I dropped the spatula. My hands were trembling. I felt like the ground beneath me had disappeared. I stared at the screen, hoping for a dream, a mistake, anything that would let me wake up. But the truth was staring back at me, impossible to ignore. That night she came home late. I didn't say a word at first. I just sat on the couch, numb. She smiled, oblivious or maybe intentionally blind, to the storm inside me. "Dinner's ready," she said cheerfully. I looked at her, at the woman I loved more than myself, and my throat closed. I wanted to scream, to cry, to demand answers, but the words refused to come. Finally I whispered, "Who's Alex?" Her face fell for a moment. Then shockingly, she didn't deny it. I want both of you," she said. Her voice trembled, but the words were deliberate. "I want you and I want him. You can't be jealous." I wanted to disappear. My mind couldn't wrap around what she just said. I felt anger, disbelief, betrayal. A storm that refused to calm. My heart, my trust, everything I thought was ours was suddenly fractured. I left the room. I couldn't look at her. I needed space to breathe, to think, to understand how someone I loved could desire someone else and still expect me to be okay with it. The smell of her perfume, her laugh, the way she rested her hand on mine, they all became weapons of memory. Days passed. The house felt smaller, filled with shadows and echoes. I replayed every argument, every laugh, every quiet moment, wondering if it had all been a lie. I thought about confronting her, but I wasn't sure I could handle the answer. Every time I opened my mouth, the words froze. Every smile she offered felt like salt in a wound. Finally, I confronted her one evening. She was quiet, waiting, and I realized something vital. I couldn't hate her completely. I was angry, devastated, but I still loved her. That made it worse. "I can't do this," I said finally. "I can't share you. I can't be part of this arrangement." Tears streamed down her face and I could see the guilt, the confusion, the desire for me to understand. But some things aren't meant to be understood. Love is supposed to feel safe, not like walking on glass. She tried to explain, tried to justify, but I couldn't listen. My heart needed survival. My trust was gone. I packed a bag that night, my hands shaking, not knowing if I'd return. I left our apartment quietly, leaving her in the wreckage of our shared life. Walking down the empty street, I felt heartbreak, yes, but also clarity. Betrayal is devastating, but it's also a teacher. It taught me my worth, the importance of boundaries, and that love cannot exist where respect does not. It's been months since that night. I've rebuilt myself slowly in silence. The memories still sting, the betrayal still echoes, but I've learned that strength often comes quietly, not with a roar. To anyone listening, love deeply, yes, but never ignore the signs that something's wrong. Trust is precious, and once it's broken, Some things cannot be mended. If you've been through something similar, please share your story in the comments. Let's talk about the pain, the lessons, and the resilience that comes after heartbreak. And again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more stories that cut deep and stay with you long after the video ends.